Subscribe and like, please. In the sultry heart of New Orleans, where the Mississippi River meets the Gulf of Mexico, a dangerous game of love and deception was unfolding. Antoinette Renee Frank, an African-American ex-cop with piercing brown eyes and a sharp intellect, found herself ensnared in the web of Rogers Lacaze, a cunning drug dealer with a magnetic charm. Antoinette, still reeling from a messy divorce, was a shell of her former self. She spent her days drinking cheap whiskey and pining for the thrill of police work. One fateful evening, as she sat alone in a seedy bar, Rogers walked in with his smooth talk and charismatic grin. He offered her an opportunity to regain her confidence, a chance to join him in one last score. Antoinette was hesitant at first, but Rogers' persuasive words painted a vivid picture of a life free from regret and filled with excitement. The pair began planning their heist, an armed robbery, at a local Vietnamese restaurant known for its lucrative cash reserves. As the days passed, Antoinette grew more invested in the scheme, but she cowed shake the nagging feeling that something wasn't right. Rogers, however, was undeterred. He had planned every detail meticulously, from the disguises to the getaway car. Antoinette found herself drawn into the danger and excitement of their illicit partnership. But as the date of the robbery approached, she cowed to ignore the gnawing unease in her gut. The night of the heist arrived, and Antoinette and Rogers donned their disguises. The restaurant was bustling with activity, but the tension between them was palpable. As they executed their plan, Antoinette's heart raced with fear and adrenaline. But their luck ran out when one of the restaurant workers noticed something amiss. In the chaos that ensued, shots were fired, leaving several innocent bystanders wounded. Antoinette and Rogers managed to escape, but not before leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. In the aftermath of the robbery, the police quickly identified Antoinette and Rogers as the suspects. Despite her protests of innocence, the evidence against them was damning. The heist had taken a tragic turn, and now they found themselves on the run from the law. As the manhunt continued, their relationship grew more turbulent with every passing day. Antoinette began to realize that Rogers had been manipulating her all along, using her for his own gain. She cowed to believe she had fallen so deeply under his spell. But as they hid in the swamps of Louisiana, she knew that she had to find a way out before it was too late. Their escape led them through a maze of deceit and betrayal, from hiding in abandoned shacks to narrowly avoiding capture at every turn. Antoinette's heart was heavy with guilt and regret, but she refused to let Rogers drag her down. She knew that she had to make things right for herself and for the innocent lives they had put in danger. As the days turned into weeks, their situation grew increasingly desperate. They lived off the land, stealing what they could and hiding in the shadows of the swamps. Antoinette began to plan her escape, a risky move that would require every ounce of courage she possessed. One fateful night, as they lay hidden in their makeshift shelter, Antoinette made her move. She snuck away from their camp, leaving Rogers behind. She knew the authorities were closing in on them, and she cowed to risk being caught with him. With nothing but the clothes on her back and a determination to make things right, she surrendered herself to the police. Rogers was eventually captured as well, but not before another tragic turn of events. In a final act of desperation, he took several hostages in an attempt to escape. The ensuing standoff left several people dead, including Rogers himself. Antoinette was devastated by the loss of innocent lives, but she knew that she had done the right thing. Antoinette's story made headlines across the country. She was sentenced to life in prison and eventually found herself on death row as Louisiana's only female inmate. But despite her fate, she remained determined to make amends for her past mistakes. She reached out to the families of the victims, offering what little comfort she could. And as she looked back on her past, she knew that she would carry the weight of her actions with her for the rest of her life. Through her trials and tribulations, Antoinette had learned a valuable lesson, that love and deception can be a dangerous mix. She vowed to spend the rest of her days attoning for her mistakes and helping others avoid the same fate. and as she closed her eyes each night she knew that no matter what lay ahead she would face it with courage and determination. The complex web of deceit and betrayal had left its mark on Antoinette Renee Frank, but it can't break her spirit. She was a testament to the human capacity for redemption, and a reminder that even in the darkest of times there is always hope for a brighter future.